The inspiration for ham and eggs came from a dear friend of mine who is now gone, unfortunately. And we were walking during a sculpture show together, and he said, "Diane, you do chickens so well. You ought to do a sculpture of a pig with a chicken on its back and call it ham and eggs." So I didn't have to do any thinking about concept with that one. It kind of came from my friend Walt, and so okay, I had the concept, but then I had to come up with how I was going to present it, and the kind of interaction I wanted and that kind of thing. And so I wanted to give the concept of the fact that farm animals, if allowed to live naturally, as they're intended, can interact with one another and enjoy one another's company. And chickens will sit on virtually anything that doesn't move. And they especially like to have their feet warm. And so I thought, okay, a nice contented chicken sitting on a big pig with her feet warm and her eyes can be closed and she can just appear to be happy. And I wanted to make the pig seem to be communicating happily with whoever was looking at it. And so that's just how the sculpture evolved. Oh, one of the best responses came several years ago with my sculpture titled On the Road with Mother Goose, which is currently at the Lafayette Public Library here. And it was at a show in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a woman came up to me in tears, and she introduced herself and said that she was a retired school librarian, and that when she saw that sculpture, it reminded her of all the things that go into teaching children about how to enjoy literature and the interactions that she had experienced over the years with children, and the Mother Goose rhymes and how that started early childhood, education and that kind of thing. And so I think that was probably one of the most endearing reactions I've ever had to my work. But usually people tell me that when they look at my work, they see a life force inside, that they're not just seeing a sculpture of an animal, they're seeing a life and an energy and an emotion, and that's why they connect with it. Once again, going back to my friend Walt Horton, he always said when you're doing a sculpture, it should be about concept that people can relate to. And so I try to be creative in my concepts and give people something to connect with on an emotional level, on a purely enjoyment level, something that makes them happy, makes them feel good when they look at it. And I hope that if my sculpture is successful, it will have that effect on them. First of all, I want them to just enjoy it on a visceral level, that they see it and it makes them feel good and happy inside. But also I want them to look a little deeper and hopefully realize that animals are not that different from people. They do experience emotions. They do have individual personalities. And I hope they will pick up on that in my sculpture, and I hope that they will therefore look at animals a little bit differently after that. And maybe they'll realize that, for instance, farm animals, as I depict in Ham and Eggs, they shouldn't be factory farmed. They should be allowed to have somewhat normal life experiences, and they should be free to move and that kind of thing. And I hope that maybe they'll look at it a little deeper and take that message with them when they go.